All right. Can you all hear me? Okay, so I think we're gonna start within the next few minutes. We keep sharing the link to our downlines, our team members, so that we can start. All right. So we are going to start very soon. Please, if you are V3 here, V3 and above, kindly raise your hand so that I can make you a co-host for you to assist me in case I'm out of um the system due to network. In case I'm out of the system, you'll be able to assist me. So when if you are veteran about, you can raise your hand for me to make you a co-host for you to assist me so that I wouldn't be left out in case there is network issue. It seems I don't know. Okay, thank you. So I don't know what is happening, but of late, been seeing the network has been disturbing. I don't know either it's only Ghana, but it seems it's happening. It's happening, and okay. So I think without wasting my time, we are starting. Without wasting my time, we are starting. So please share the link to your team members. And you know, those who refuse to join the meeting on time, they are those people that when you are about to end, they keep asking questions from where you started. They keep asking questions from where you started. So share the link so that they can join on time. If you join the meeting on time, it will help you for you to catch up with whatever discussion or whatever lesson we have to do or we have to learn, right? It will help you for you to be able to follow up and understand what we are learning. So do well to share the link with your team members so that we can start. Okay. So this morning we are continuing with our discussion on the futures market, and it's been so interesting. We haven't much knowledge about the futures market, and it is important so far as trading is concerned. In crypto ambassadors, our mission and our goal is to ensure that every individual will become an independent trader. And when we say someone is an independent trader, it simply means the trader understands and have knowledge about the market and can flow consistently in terms of knowledge. Okay, so you exactly know what you are doing and you make right decision for yourself, either good or bad. You make it for yourself, right? Good. So that is the reason why you have to ensure that you be attending all these meetings. And the more you attend the meeting, the more you attend the training, the more you gain knowledge. And the more you gain knowledge, the more you can make money. All right? Good. So if you are committed enough, you get more results. But then, if you fail to be committed to your business, especially attending the necessary meeting that would ensure you get a result, you will find yourself wanting all the time, right? Okay, so let me share my screen for us to start with what we have to discuss today. Okay, and it has been so amazing this morning. I woke up and I saw the market flourishing with good liquidity. Liquidity flowing into the market. CBT is getting to 107K and all the other assets following. That should tell you that what is yet to happen in the market If care is not taken, we will not be able to handle. And I know for sure you are preparing yourself. You've prepared enough to embrace what is yet to happen. Okay. So this morning we are continuing our discussion on the futures market, and so far we've discussed a lot about the futures market when it comes to setting up a trade on the futures, how to calculate for coins, and other breakdown key concepts. So this morning we will look or we focus more on the breakdown key concepts, especially understanding the average price, how the average price works in the futures market, and then also how to calculate for your P&L and most valuable calculation that the trader needs to know and understand so far as the futures market is concerned. So though I'm not going to complicate this morning's lesson, but then I'm sure it's going to be a little bit complicated, and I ensure that you pay attention and follow very well so that you can be able to understand this session, right? So, if you're ready to follow, you're ready to learn, let's start the process. And before you start, let me know if you are ready. So, if you're ready, give me one in the chat. If you are ready, if you are ready to start, give me one in the chat. If you're ready, give me one in the chat. All right. So, can see your enthusiasm this morning, and we are good to go. Okay, we are good to go. Okay, so now when it comes on the futures market, basic principle that I always want every trader to understand is that trading on the futures market is not the same as trading on the spot market. Trading on the futures market is not the same as trading on the spot market. This is the first thing you need to understand. Trading on the futures market is not the same as trading on the spot market. And to taking time to explain why trading on the futures market is not the same as trading on the spot market. Now, we've understood that when it comes to spot trading, it's about an ownership of an asset, whereas the futures trading is more of a contract that the trader signs in order for him to take advantage over um, the market. Okay, so the trader is focusing on advantage using less capital to raise more capital to make more profit. Okay, that is what we term it as leveraging, leverage. Now, aside you leveraging on your capital, the reason why you've been consistent here is that we want every trader to understand the risk factor involved in the futures market. And after understanding, you find an easy way to navigate the market to make profit. Okay, you find ways to navigate the market and then also do what make profit whilst understanding the risk involved. Whilst understanding the risk involved. That is it. So when it comes to trading on the futures market, one thing that will make trading on the futures market to be so exceptional over here, especially when it comes to manual trading, is that of what we call the average prices of of the asset. So, oh, can you see my screen? Looks, I don't know which color should I use. Can you see? Uh, so I can't see. Maybe I have to change it. Maybe I have to change it. And use this and see. And this also to see. Okay. So unless I go off from that mode. All right. So I guess we can proceed now. Okay. taking advantage of the average prices. And when it comes to average prices, mostly manual traders do not have the do not have the concept of average price in trading. Okay, and this is what makes it exceptional. So when it comes to trading on the futures market, first understand average prices works and how you can take advantage over the average prices. That is opening of what margin calls. And after understanding these average prices, you would know the essence.
Marie, your network has gone off. I think you have come back. You may go on if you can hear me.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Like I said, it seems the network of late, I don't know what is happening. Anyway, that wouldn't be an excuse for us not to progress. We'll surely progress. Okay. So let me share my. After understanding the concept of the average prices in trading, you would know how it really works in terms of the futures market. And this is what makes trading on the futures market using Royal Kill to be so exceptional as compared to manual trading, right? This is going to help you to understand futures trading using Royal Kill as part of an exceptional market compared to manual trading. Now, there are two things when it comes to the um, average prices. And the previous time I discussed about it, and today we are discussing more because we are going to learn more on the calculations involved. So we said on our previous lesson, we said the average price. Anytime you create new average price, it offers to also create what we call liquidation price. Liquidation price. Now this is important, and you need to pay attention to this lesson very well. What you need to understand is that though liquidation can happen in the futures market, but for how extent will you experience liquidation? So we said before a trader can experience liquidation in the market, you need to understand the concept of average price and then also liquidation price. These two terms are important. These two terms are what are important in the market for you to be able to maximize or minimize more profit in the market or get more profit in the market. You need to ensure that you understand the concept of the average price and then the liquidation price. Now, we discussed previously that when we talk of an average price, the average price is the initial price at which you bought the asset or the original price at which you bought the asset. So any amount or any price you bought the asset at, if it's 120 and it's presently at 150, your average price was 120. That was the original price at which you bought the asset. And manually, when you go to your exchange, you're going to see that um entry price. You're going to see that your entry price. Now, what you are saying is that the purpose of you creating average prices in your trading, therefore, opening margin calls is to ensure that the trader would be able to create new liquidation value or liquidation price. That is what we are discussing. So, if you want to understand, if you want to ensure that your profit margin is going to be consequential, irrespective of the direction of the market, you need to understand your liquidation price all the time. And how do you determine that? Okay, how do you determine that? So, first, let me give you this illustration on how to determine the liquidation price. So now we said anytime the trader trades creates new margin calls or open margin calls, by the help of with the help of the margin calls, the trader is able to create different or create new average price. So we said when we talk of the average prices, just like I've explained, assuming you bought an asset at 120, you are on a long position. Okay. And I believe by now when we talk of long, you understand. I believe by now when you talk of long, you understand. In the futures market, when you talk of long, you understand. So the price is at 120, you are on long position. This simply means on the long position, for you to be liquidated, the market or based on the trade that you set, they'll give you a price at which when the asset drops to that value, you'll be liquidated. So that value is what we term it as the liquidation price. So let's assume you are the asset that you bought, the price was 120, and your assumed liquidation price is 80. Okay. This means until this asset drops from 120 to 80, the trader or you will still be in the market. Pay attention to this. You are still going to be in this market or you are going to exist in this market. So far as the price hasn't dropped from 120 to 80, you are still going to be in the market. Now, once the price dropped from 120 to this limit, which is $80, it simply means your liquidation price has been triggered. It has hit your liquidation price, and you need to be exited out of the or exit out of the market. You need to be exit out of this market. This means without this liquidation price getting triggered in the market, there is no way you will be what? You will be liquidated. Now, liquidation is important because once liquidation happens, it simply means you are out of the market and you are not going to get your money back. Pay attention to this. And that is the reason why you need to know the essence of liquidation value or liquidation price. So anytime you set up a trade, one of the few things that you should never have an oversight or lack an oversight on is your liquidation price. Are you following? Are you following? Are you following? Are you following? Or I'm out. Are you following? All right. Very good. I'm taking time to explain this thing to you because it is important and you need to understand it. And mind you, we are speeding up any moment. So you have to follow and be attentive to the lesson. Now, that is the meaning of the that is the essence of the liquidation price. This means for you to stay longer in the market based on your position, either long or short, it simply means you need to ensure you work on your average price all the time. And how do you work on the average price? By opening more margin call. So market, you know that the average price helps you to buy the dip. So that is the same essence here. But over here, after buying the dip, the average price would help you create new liquidation price because it is the liquidation price that will help you sustain in the market. So your sustainability in the market also depends on your liquidation value. Now, the next thing is that sometimes you may see the liquidation value, sometimes you wouldn't see the liquidation value. Sometimes you will see the liquidation value in your exchange. Sometimes you wouldn't see the liquidation value in your exchange. And that is where we are going to focus on. So, in situations where your liquidation price does not exist, how do you get to know your liquidation price and how do you get to stay alert in the market? So, we discussed this and we are going to take it one more time. Now, we said if a trader is on long position, if a trader is on long position, so assuming you are on long position now and you want to know your liquidation price, we said for you to know your liquidation price, you have to take time and calculate because in case it is not given, in case this liquidation price is not given, you need to take time to calculate it yourself. That is, if you want to know, if you care much to know, you need to take time to work it out. Mind you, we said the futures market is an advanced market. This means you've grown in knowledge, you've understood the concept of trading on the futures market, and you are ready to apply good risk management there to make more profit. Right? So when it comes to your liquidation price, how do you get to know your liquidation price? So we said, assuming the trader is on long position like this, for you to know, you first need to know your entry price. Your entry price, that should be the first thing. Most one minus one over your average, sorry, your leverage. One over your leverage, right? So once you set up a trade and you want are eager to know your liquidation price, You need to get the formula right. You need to know how to work with that. That is your entry price multiplied by 1 minus your leverage. And we said when we talk of leverage, leverage is what gives the futures trading a meaning of what contract. So we may have 1x, 2x, up to 20x on your Royal Fuel account. And we've talked about the leverage that the higher your leverage, the more profit you can make. And at the same time, the higher your leverage, the higher your risk of what? Liquidation. So we said for you to know your liquidation price, first it is if it's on long position, your entry price, the entry minus multiply by 1, the bracket, 1 minus 1 over your leverage, which is L. Let's assume the leverage is L. And I've advised, I would entreat if you go for a leverage, at most it should be 5x. At most should be 5x, irrespective of your capital. So that you can stay in the market and manage good risk in the market. So on a long position, it's your entry price multiplied by bracket 1 minus 1 over your leverage. What about if I'm on if I'm on short position? Now, in a case when I'm on short position, I would also have to expect liquidation price. Liquidation price. Now there is a particular trade I set, and I got to realize that I was on short on is it Solana or something, and I got to realize that the liquidation price happens to be 180. It's later changed to 190. This means until Solana gets to 190, that asset will never be liquidated. It has been sold long time, right? So either on long or on short position, you should know the essence and the value of your liquidation price. So in this case, when the trader is on short position, how can he also get to know his liquidation value or his liquidation price when it's not given? Now, we said on a short position, if I want to discover or if I want to know my liquidation value, I should also focus on my entry price multiply by bracket 1 plus 1 over my leverage. 1 plus 1 over my leverage, which is L. Do you understand? Do you understand? We are moving forward. Do you understand? If you understand, give me one in the chat for me to know. If you understand, give me one. If you understand, give me one in the chat. If you understand, give me one in the chat. If you understand, give me one in the chat. If you understand, give me one in the chat. If you understand, give me one in the chat. Now we will be speeding up soon. If you understand, give me one in the chat. Very good. Very good. Very good. Now, what we are saying is simple. What we are saying is simple. Huh? What we are saying is simple. You are trading on the futures market. Listen, you are trading on the futures market. He said the futures market is not like the spot market. The spot market is just an ownership of an asset. So you buy the asset, you own it. The futures market is not like the spot market. The futures market is a contract market. Pay attention to this. The futures market is a contract market. Now, as you sign up for this contract, there are certain factors that is going to make it possible for you to sustain in the market and hit your target before you walk out of the market. Listen, there is certain factor that is going to ensure that everything is going to be possible for you to hit your target before you walk out of the market. So it's either you hit your target or you miss your target. Pay attention to this. It's either you hit your target or you miss your target. Now, if it happens, I miss my target, what do I do, or how do I get to know all this for me to sustain and then so come in the market? Because in the futures market, we said it's a contract, and with this contract, it's based on leverage. It's based on what? On leverage. And once you fail this leverage, or once the leverage works against you, you are going to face what we call liquidation. Liquidation. Hmm? You are going to face what we call liquidation. Now, what is liquidation? Your liquidation happens when the liquidation price, or when the price at which you are using as collateral, gets executed or triggered. That's when we see that the trader has been liquidated. So just like normal funds or normal banking, at a point in time you go for a loan. They said the loan that you are going for, you have to give what we call collateral. Sign for a collateral. This collateral simply means that if you are not able to fulfill your promise on time, based on agreement, they are going to use whatever you used as collateral to pay for their money. Now, this means anytime you couldn't pay the contract, or you couldn't pay your loan, that money, either it is 500 cedis, sorry, $500, $1,000, or whatever it is, they are going to use that money, they are going to seize it and use it to pay for the collateral. So when it comes to the futures market, that collateral is what we term it as liquidation. That collateral amount is what we term it as liquidation. So research for the trader to be able to know his liquidation value, to know when his contract can expire or he will be terminated out of the market based on his or her position in the market. And when we talk of the position, we mean either short or long. That is your direction. Which direction are you focusing on in the market? Are you on a short prediction or long prediction? When we say short, it simply means the trader believes that asset is going to drop in value. And when we say long, it simply means the trader believes with all conviction that that asset is going to rise in value. Right? All right? Good. So now we said, since the trader is expecting two things to happen to either make profit or hit liquidation, he should know what we call liquidation price. Liquidation price. Huh? The trader should know what we call liquidation price. And when we talk of liquidation price, we said the liquidation price is the price target at which, when the market drops to that target, you will be exited, or you need to be exit out of the market. So over here, you are not going to exit yourself once it get there. But once it get there, it simply means your trader ended. So anytime the trader gets to know his liquidation value, he feels so comfortable in the market to trade. Cause you expect your boss to execute and bring you profit. So now what we are saying is that listen, after this, we are moving forward. I'm not going to go over again. So pay attention to this. What we are saying is that you know what we call average price. And we said when we talk of an average, it is the reoccurring buying of the asset. So every time you buy new assets, you create what we call average price. You create what we call average price. Huh? You create what we call average price. And the average price help you to create new liquidation price. The average price help you to create new liquidation price. Are you following? Are you following? Are you following? Are you following? You have a lot of things to learn today. So pay attention. Are you following? Are you following? All right. Very good. Now we can proceed. Now we can proceed. So now we said for you to know your liquidation price, first you've opened up margin calls. And once you've opened up margin calls, it's automatic that you are going to create new average prices because the margin calls are going to be bought in the market. And once it's bought, simply means you've created new average price. And the new average price would also help you to create new liquidation price. So our communication is that, or what we are saying, with the liquidation price, sometimes once you set up the trade in your exchange, you will see the liquidation price. Sometimes you wouldn't see the liquidation price. So if I set up a trade and I'm not seeing the liquidation price, what we are saying is that the trader can calculate the liquidation price himself. And how can he calculate the liquidation price? That is what we are saying that for you to calculate the liquidation price, one, you need to know your position. Are you on a long position or short position? Now, if I'm on long position, if I'm on long position, this is what we are saying. If I'm on long position, then it's simple. If I come here, first I should know my entry amount. Entry. So when you go into your exchange, we said on Royal Kill, you are going to call average price. In your exchange, you are going to what you call entry price. So go into the exchange or use the average price, calculate average price and entry price are the same. Royal Q 10 meters average price, the exchange 10 meters entry price. So you aren't lost. Okay. Now, for you to calculate for your long position, we said the entry price multiplied by one, your entry price multiplied by bracket one minus one over your leverage. Well, we all know that when we talk of the leverage is based on your multiple. So either you have 1x, 2x, 20x, 15x, or 10x, whatever leverage that you are using. So the leverage that you are using in the market is what you are going to use. If you are using 3x leverage, it's going to be your entry multiplied by bracket 1 minus 1 over 3. So all what you need to know is your entry price. And once you know your entry price or your average price, you'll be able to calculate for your liquidation value. This is for long position. On long, the only difference is this. That is minus. That is the difference between the long position and the short position. That is the difference between the long position and the short position. So now in this case, if a trader also wants to calculate for his short position, if a trader also wants to calculate for his short position based on the liquidation price, it's going to be entry price multiplied by bracket 1 plus 1 over L, where L is your leverage, where L is your leverage. Is that clear now? If you've understood, give me one in the chat. If you've understood, give me one in the chat. If you've understood, give me one in the chat for us to move forward. If you've understood, give me one in the chat for us to move forward. If you've understood, give me one in the chat for us to move forward. If you've understood, give me one in the chat for us to move forward. If you've understood, give me one in the chat for us to move forward. There are certain things you don't need to worry yourself about. One is constant. Huh? One is constant. Where do we get the one? That is the formula. Very good. So you can't complicate things here. You get it? All what you need to know is your entry price, your leverage. One or minus. Where do we get the minus? Where do we get the plus? Eh? That is it. So your entry price brackets, your entry price multiplied by brackets one minus one over your leverage. Simple as that. Or one plus one over your leverage. All right. Now let's proceed. Let's proceed. There are some people, they want to know, or they want to go in and ask, why did crypto happen? Why is it that we are trading crypto? We are trading crypto. You ask me why is so everything you want to go in and why is one one? Why am I human being? You can't get to know all. Huh? You can't get to know all. Why am I human being? Why am I trading on Royal Kill? Why does Royal Kill exist? Oh, huh? When you do that, you are just complicating life for yourself. Life is simple. You can't complicate everything. Now, how do you maximize profit? Eh? How do you maximize profit? At the end of the day, it is important for the trader to know how he can make good profit in the futures market. Huh? Yes, you see, that is it. When people get profit, they don't ask, why did I make profit in the market? Right? But anything they will come. Why am I trading on Royal Kill? Why am I using crypto to trade? Why did you, oh my brother? Eh? You want to complicate your own life. Why am I human being? Why is zero zero? Why you do that? You just want to complicate life for yourself. Eh? Life is meant to be simple, so don't complicate life. Okay, don't complicate life at all. All right. Now, when it comes to trading, if you want to be a good trader, if you want to be a good trader, one thing that you need to know is first know your risk appetite. Know the type of risk taker you are. Okay. Now we've learned here there are three different forms of risk, especially when it comes to using royal field. And this is not only royal field, it's applicable to every individual. Listen to this. It's applicable to every individual, especially so far as risk is concerned. We have what we call radical traders. We have conservative traders and then also steady traders. These are the three different forms of risk. You need to pay attention to this. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Yes, I'll answer your question. Don't worry. Please, can you hear me? All right. Okay. Now, you need to know your risk appetite in the market. Are you a radical trader, a conservative trader, or a steady trader? Now, who is a radical trader? When you talk of a radical trader is an aggressive trader. Always he focuses on his profit that he will make. He's a serious risk taker. Hmm. He don't care. He can kill big profit. He don't care. Eh? Radical traders. They are so aggressive in terms of profit making. And they don't care taking huge risks. Those are the people that, even if when you tell them that they should use a leverage of 10x, they'll go for 100x. Even if you ask them to use 5x, they'll go for 1000x. They don't care about anything. Now pay attention to this because we are moving. They are called radical traders. They are called radical traders. We have conservative. Conservative traders love to take risk, but they don't like taking huge risk. Huh? They love taking risk, but they don't like taking huge risk. And we have steady traders. Steady. Huh? Steady. I want to say steady trader. For them, they are normal traders. They want to go according to the trend. They don't want to face any challenge. They want to be okay with the system. But for conservative and radicals, they like blending things together so that they can get results in a certain way. Now, pay attention to this. When it comes to trading on the futures market, these things matter a lot, especially the assets you trade, especially the assets you trade. So, for you to make more profit on the futures market, the asset you trade also matters based on your risk type. Based on your risk type. Now, there are traders who love to trade based on the trend. The trend of the market or trending assets. Let me use trending assets. And when we talk of trending assets, it may be an asset which may gain more momentum in the market based on a certain news, or which may be dampened based on a certain news. Now, mind you, in the futures market, we are focusing on two things. It's either we are going to get an asset that is going to give us more damp, or we are going to get an asset that is going to give us more pump. Now, in the case of searching for this asset that can pump more, it simply means when an asset is pumping, when it comes to the futures market, when an asset is pumping, you long it. When an asset is dumping, you do what? You short it. Now, there are traders like that. So they choose to go for trending assets. Those assets that are trending within some time. There are others too who would like to go on a serious meme coin. Okay, they will love trading on meme coin. Now, I have something to say about this. I have something to teach you on this, especially while we're embarking the journey on trading on the futures market. Look, you need to know the type of risk you can afford and how to handle that and how to make your profits. Trading on the futures market is so sweet. Yet, if you play ignorant, you'll pay for that, right? So that is the reason why you've taken time to explain and teach more on this so that people would understand better. Now, we have different classes of what? Of coins in the market. We've learned about this. The leaders have taught this so many times, and other leaders. When it comes to trading on the futures market, meme coins are good. Listen to me. Meme coins are good, but it's good for these people. It's mostly, listen, it's mostly good for these people, radical, and most especially, or sometimes conservative. Meme coins are mostly good for radical traders and conservative when it comes to the futures. Listen to me. When it comes to the what? The futures market. Why? Because on the futures market, the attitude of meme coins is just that they fluctuate. They are highly volatile, as we all know. That they are highly volatile, and they can give you the profits on time. Listen, they can give you the profits on time. Why? Because they easily pump and what? And dump. They easily pump and dump. So if assume you want to trade on the futures market, based on your risk type, are you a radical trader, a conservative trader, or a steady trader? Should you chase a meme coin now, you should know the outcome of meme coin that they can easily make you profit and they can also easily dump. So if on long, meme coin can easily dump to short. If on short, they can also easily pump. That is their trend. So if you are such a risk taker that want to be taking advantage over this pump and dump scheme on meme coins, you can easily generate your profit. Notwithstanding, you should also understand the risk involved. Are we learning? 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 Very good. Very good. Good. Someone is saying me, I'm not a friendly to meme. Well, that is it. So you need to understand that type of risk taker you can find yourself doing so that you know how to handle the market. Now, aside that, we have different assets. We have chain coins. This morning, those who attend the morning Zoom meeting, the junior taught all these things. And I'm not going to go deeper into this. So we have assets like Ethereum. Ethereum is there. Solana, SEAL, Avax. Now, why these coins? These coins are coins which can give you profit but they are not highly volatile in terms of how they fluctuate as compared to the meme coins. This means if you are a steady trader who wants to be making profits, but not as fast as you'll be running, you would have to focus on these coins, some of these coins that are on their own chain, the chain coins. You have to focus on these coins. Now, these coins will be able to generate profit for you. So on your coin market cap, I'm not going to go there. Listen, on your coin market cap, you have to get those assets and see how they are performing. After getting them on board, now you can trust how to do it, to trade on them on the futures market. Either you are going to short them or you are going to long them. Now, like I said, so now you have the two classes, the chain coins and the highly meme coins. So if you are that type of trader taking huge risk, fine, the meme coins will be good for you because they can easily pump for you and they can also easily dump for you. So if they pump, you go on long. If they dump, you go on short. Now, they can also unmake you, and once they unmake you, you have to embrace because you know yourself as a good risk taker. You are taking risk to make good profit here. If not, they could demonstrably join the market from this aspect of your chain coins, where you can get coins like Ethereum, Solana, Avax, Seal, Ton, those coins. And one thing amazing about those coins is that when even if the market goes against you very high, you still see yourself okay and relaxed in the market. Because no matter how it goes, it will surely revert to your position that or your direction as compared to the main coin. So you see, trading on the futures market is very simple but strategic. Once you understand this, you will find yourself trading on the futures market with ease, without any stress. Huh? You find yourself trading on the futures market with ease. So now you know how to get that. So first, on your coin market cap, you can easily get. So you use either Chrome or if you have the app, you use the app. So coin market cap. Either you're going to get some of the chain coins or okay. So let me see. Okay, so let me go back. Uh, okay, so good. So either you're going to get the categories. You come here. Let's look at them. If you see some of them, okay. So almost most of these are chain coins. Okay, those are that are on their own blockchain that are performing good. Now, listen. You need two things here. You come to trade on the futures market. You need two things. Pay attention to this. You need two things. You either need to long the market or short. This means you either need to search for an asset that is dumping for you to work with it, or you need to search for an asset that is performing good, pumping for you to work with it. These are the two things that you need. So anytime you think of the futures market, two things comes in mind. Am I going to long the market or I'm going to short? Listen, you're not just jumping on the asset. Listen to this. You are not just jumping on the asset. Maybe you wake up. Me, I want an asset that is dumping so that I can also help dump the market by shorting that particular asset. Me, I want an asset that is going to perform good today. This simply means as you wake up today, you only want an asset that you can long them. At least you long one or two assets in the market to make at least 6% or making 2%, 2% or 1% on each asset. You go your way. Are we learning? 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 Huh? Very good. Now, when it comes to the futures market, it matters. When it comes to the futures market, it matters because if the assets can dump more, you can make more profit on it. If it can pump more, you can make more profit on it. That is the reason why we want to take advantage over the futures market because we know assets dump, assets pump. If an asset is dumping, it's an opportunity for you to make profit. If an asset is pumping, it's an opportunity for you to make profit. This means when you can get an asset that is pumping very well, you can easily make profit on that particular asset. And at the same time, when you can, if you can get some asset that is dumping, you can also make good profit on that asset. So it matters a lot. So as a that's the reason I told you that trading on the futures market is quite different as compared to trading on the spot market. Huh? Trading on the futures market is quite different as compared to trading on the spot market. And as a matter of fact, like I'm saying, based on the two classes, if you want to be safe enough in the market, considering your liquidation and everything, then you have to best go for these assets, maybe chain assets or chain coins based on their strength, and you can trade on them with peace of mind. Meme coins are good for profit. For profit's sake, meme coins are good. But for risk, high risk sake, you may trade on meme coins on the futures market, it's fine. But you need to know. And those who join this morning session, we learn more on different types of meme coins. Huh? So you should know that there are some meme coins, they are not as volatile as other meme coins, like Dodge and other meme coins that we mentioned. But the other meme coins too, like assets like this asset called Moodin. Moodin. This asset is very good. It can give you profit. But when it decides to dump, when you're on long, that day, all your intestine will come out. When it decides to pump, it pumps very well. This asset called Moodin. Ah, will give you profit. This asset will give you profit. So you see, if you don't get to know how it works, the nature of the coin, either it's a meme coin or a chain coin, it also factor in trading on the futures market. It If you understand, give me one in the chat. If you understand the discussion, give me one in the chat. If you understand, give me one in the chat. If you understand, give me one in the chat. Now, me, I'm not here to teach you good assets, how to select coin. I'm just teaching you some factors in the futures market and how to go by that. So if you want to learn more on that, you need to join the technical analysis class. Hmm? If you want to learn more on that, you need to join the technical analysis class. That is it. Me, I'm here to teach you how to understand the futures market. Huh? So I wouldn't like to go back anywhere than to for us to proceed on our discussion. So guys, you see, trading on the futures market is not difficult. It's simple. It's about understanding the basic factors involved, how to apply them, and then you go your way. That is the reason we're having all these meetings. Because for you to be able to be secured in the market, trade, the assets that you have to select also matters. That is the reason you need to know the type of risk taker you can find yourself being, either going on a radical or conservative or steady, right? That is it. Now, let me give you the opportunity to ask your questions. I have to take some questions because by 8:30 Ghana time, I have to end the meeting. So let me give you the opportunity. If you have any questions, let me answer your questions. If you have any question, let me ask your question and let me use this opportunity to answer your question before I leave. Have you been able to learn something? Huh? Have you been able to learn something? Have you been able to learn something new today? Have you been able to learn something new today? Have you been able to learn something new today? Huh? Have you been able to learn something new today? Good. Now, let me take this opportunity to answer your questions before I leave. By the next few minutes, I have to leave. I have to end the meeting. I'll be going somewhere. So if you have any questions, let me answer your question by 8 minutes time. I have to bring the meeting to an end. If you have any question, please ask. If you have any questions, let me answer your questions before I leave. So okay, so leaders are working on that, and very soon we will get this platform or where we will get the feature signal too. So someone is asking, I have a question. Do you have a group where you send feature signals to? Please, I said leaders are working on that, and um, signals will be dropped once everything is concluded. So don't worry, you bring that session. Okay. Then, so someone is asking, when will you start to share the feature signal? Yeah, we will share. Just exercise patience, we will share. So, but I'm still asking, where do we get the formula of 1 - 1? Hey, this my paddy don't want to understand. You don't want to agree for the market. Now listen, where do we get the formula 1 - 1? It's a formula. Yes, it's a formula. Formula is a formula. Huh? Or do you want us to start proving the formula too? Huh? Do you want us to start proving the formula too? It's a formula. As you said, formula is a formula. Huh? Man, don't want peace, oh, you don't want peace. Formula is a formula. Why did we manage to get the earth? The earth it's earth. It's there. Hmm? My dear. So formula, okay. It's a fixed value. We call it constant. Eh? We call it what? Constant. We call something constant. It's something leverage. Why is this leveraging? Why is there leverage? It's leverage. Because that's how the system has been built. And you can't change it. Leverage is there. So if you ask why is there leverage in futures trading, you can't change the leverage in futures trading. Huh? So it's a formula in the future in calculation of liquidation price. Well, so let's proceed. Let me see if there is any other hand up. There is no hand up. So let me answer the questions in the chat box. So can we use the average price to calculate the liquidation price? So we said no, 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 no. Okay. Okay, so the average price index. So it's best preferred for you to use the entry price in your exchange. It's best preferred for you to use the entry price in your exchange. Since the liquidation price is reflected in your exchange and not on Royal Sale, it's best preferred for you to use the entry price in your exchange. You get it? It's best preferred for you to use the liquidation price. Sorry, the entry price in your exchange. So yeah. So you want to prove the formula too. We are lacking having it. uh, anyway, he want to prove the formula, and these are some of the things to go run away from the classroom. So we couldn't prove formula there. Just accept it and go your way. You see, there are certain things you just need to accept it the way it is. You can't change it. You can't change certain things. Just accept it the way it is and go your way. All what you need is the money. So do the right thing and get the money and move on. Whether how it managed to come or how it managed to exist in the trading or whatever it is formula. Can you change it? You can't change it. Huh? Okay. So if you have any question, you can feel free to ask. If you have any question, you can feel free to ask. So I guess please sign sign will let you know the asset is dumping on. All right, so that one has to do with more of fundamental analysis, technical or sentimental. Okay, that was what is going to help you to know how. So that is the reason why we learn on how to use coin market cap to do your fundamental analysis for you to know the liquidity that flows in an asset. And after understand the liquidity that flows in the market and then on an asset, that is when you know how also an asset can dump or pump, right? So that is why it is important for you to be joining most of the meetings like the technical analysis meetings, fundamental analysis, and other trainings so that you'll be able to be familiar with most of the sessions. Because our team has been has made it such that everyone can be able to get access to knowledge in the market and progress. Okay. All right. So he's back. Okay. So it means when I trade long, I use 1 minus 1. While when I trade short, I use yes. So it's not 1 times 1, 1 plus 1. Hmm? Not just 1 plus 1. It is 1 plus 1 over the leverage. Hmm? So the first one is a whole number. Then the second one is 1 over leverage. So that is what you should get it clear. It's 1 plus 1 over the leverage, or 1 minus 1 over the leverage. So that is it. All right. So, yes. So if you need to know the coins is pumping or dumping, you need to know your analysis. That is good. All right. So, guys, I think that is all. This is where time will permit us to end. Since there are no questions to ask, um, I have to be on a journey today, and we'll end here. If God permits, tomorrow, tomorrow is Thursday. In the evening, we'll still meet again in the evening. So prepare, and let's meet again in the evening to learn more about the futures market. Look, the futures market is sweet. Trading on the futures market is simple. All what we need is the knowledge to go by, or the knowledge you need to understand how you navigate and then make your profit in the futures market. So don't worry, take your time. Let's continue to learn more knowledge on the futures market. And after understanding and positioning ourselves well, we can now trade and trade well. Though I know most of you have started trading on the futures market already and you are getting good results there. Yet, if you've not started yet, don't worry, you will soon start. Okay. So guys, let's go for money. Let's go out there to make money. Let's go out there to make money. There are more people who need our results. There are more people who want us to help them. Some of us are yet to learn to connect our royalty to futures. Yes, so please, we have videos on YouTube. We have videos on YouTube. We have videos on YouTube. So go there and search for the futures trading. And if you search the if you search for it, you will see the videos there. Watch the videos on YouTube and then set up your futures account if you've not done that. Yes. So that is I think that is all. Okay. So you meet if God permits tomorrow. You meet if God permits tomorrow. What is that? Who is saying it is not working? I don't understand what you're saying though. You know what you're talking about. So yeah, it's good for you to get the knowledge. And I've always been saying this. The knowledge you make or the money you make is as a result of the knowledge you do what you have. So if you don't have more knowledge about something, you need to seek more knowledge. And the more knowledge you gain, the more money you can do what you can make. Do you understand? The more knowledge you gain, the more money you can make. So please, can you send the recording of all the features trading, like how you send the sports one? Yes. So please, on the on our platform, I think all the Zoom meetings will be dropped there. Huh? All the Zoom meetings will be sorry, all the um this yes, the YouTube videos will be dropped on the platform. So take notice of that on your any of the platform. Just stay alert. Once it's dropped, you watch the video and then you go your way. All right. So let's end here. If God permits, tomorrow we'll still meet again. I wish you all the best. Have a good day. All right. Bye bye bye.